It's known around the world for the 22 million bottles exported each year. But there's much more to Beaujolais than just its wine. In the south of the region is an area nicknamed the Golden Rocks, where the walls seem to glow thanks to a limestone tinged with iron oxides. This formation is 170 million years old. Stones used to be dug out here, with a quarry in nearly every village.
We are at the bottom of a sea that once covered 3/4 of France. This is the result of the sedimentation of marine organisms. What we see shining in the stone are little dots of silica.
Over time, many thought that stonemasonry was a dying craft. But after finding these men hard at work, we're not so sure.
When I was a kid, we used to play hide and seek and cowboys and Indians in these quarries. And now that we're retired, we're still drawn here.
Some people give up their lives to come and work here. It was a really difficult job. What we're doing now is nothing like that. This is just a hobby for us.
Other Beaujolais residents are also making a living from their art. In Oingt, a village listed as one of France's most beautiful, you can find painters, potters, glaziers, but also some musicians from another era.
It's all very logical. There's some wood, some linkage, and some leather, and with all of that, you can make music.
The hit tunes of yesteryear ring out from these barrel organs and mechanical pianos.
The customer who wanted to listen to some music would wind up the spring motor with this crank to make it taut. They'd then choose their music from this list, stand in front of this little dial, and then pop a coin in.
From bars to royal palaces, this ingenious mechanism would set the mood.
The mystery lies under here. This is the forefather of the CD. This one is a street piano. It's an instrument that was pulled through the streets and did the rounds at fun fairs for its owner to make a living.
This musical enthusiast spent 30 years resurrecting these instruments and opening his museum.
When I'm busy repairing an instrument in my workshop, if my wife doesn't come to pick me up in the evening, I don't go home.
And visitors all get to join in for a little sing-song. Beaujolais' heritage is also made up of these stone citadels. There are dozens of castles dotted across the region. The one in Montmelin was built in the 16th century.
This is the front door of the castle. Above the door, there's the coat of arms of the Marquis of Montmelin, which is engraved on both sides with his motto, sans rien feindre, or don't pretend, stay true to yourself.
The castle is said to have inspired one of the writer Charles Perrault's most famous fairy tales.
The wild boars are watching over Sleeping Beauty.
With lofty castles like this one, the lords of Beaujolais had every opportunity to showcase their power.
The court often moved around, and all these little provincial lords hoped that important people would pay them a visit. So they needed to have beautiful castles.
Further north in Villiers-Morgon, we've come to taste a Beaujolais speciality which is being cooked up by Jean-Jacques.
It's a sabodé, a local sausage made with a pig's head and feet.
A sausage cooked in grapes.
Okay, it's time to eat.
It's barely 9 a.m, but that doesn't seem to bother anyone.
You need to put in lots of training, that's for sure. But we're the sporty ones. Those who weigh under 60 kilos have forgot to come.
This meal is nicknamed the mâchon because there's lots of chewing involved. And to round things off, there's Canute Brain, a herby cottage cheese.
For young people nowadays, the morning snack has been replaced with a brunch.
We share little anecdotes that we wouldn't dare tell in different circumstances. That's what we like. We can let our hair down a bit.
Avec l'ami Jojo et avec l'ami Pierre, on allait boire nos 20 ans. Jojo se prenait pour Voltaire et Pierre pour Casanova. Et moi qui étais le plus fier, moi je me prenais pour moi. Et quand vers minuit...
The world is ever changing. The news doesn't wait. That's why at France 24, we'll always be there to help make sense of world events. For the best international coverage, 24 hours a day, no matter what, France 24 is with you everywhere, all the time.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.